Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about the importance of your colon health. I often talk a lot about your small intestine, which is all in my book on how to heal the small intestine, but what gets overlooked a lot today is your colon. Now obviously your colon is where your waste comes out, so it's all of your poo that goes down the toilet, right? But can you imagine if you are living on a diet that is full of meat, full of dairy, full of sugar, full of processed foods, lack of fibre, lack of water, all of those things, gluten as well. You remember the name for gluten in Latin is glue. Well, what happens here is that meat, that dairy, that gluten all sticks to the walls of your colon. And then eventually it starts to harden. Maybe it stays mucusy because of the dairy. Maybe it stays gluey because of gluten. Then food particles start to also stick to the walls of that food, and it causes putrefaction. And what happens with the putrefaction is it goes into your bloodstream and causes toxic blood. If you then develop toxic blood, you are living in a very toxic environment, because in order to be healthy, we have to have clean blood. So if your blood is not clean, then this is when we're going to get bad skin problems, as well as lots and lots of different kinds of chronic illnesses, and why it is important that we take care of our colon. So if you have lived your whole life and you have got to, let's say, example 40, because I'm nearly 40, right? And I've had a couple of colonics in my life so far. But let's say I'd never had that, and I was an avid meat eater, drinker, alcohol drinking, I'm talking here, like sugar, all of the bad foods. I very rarely eat fruit. I very rarely eat fibre. I don't drink a lot of water, all of those kind of stuff. And I've got to 40. All of that food could potentially still be stuck to my colon, causing all of this inflammation and rotting inside of my body. And as what? Now I posted the other day a picture of the colon. So in the colon, it links to certain points of the body. So if you get stagnation at that part of the colon, then what they're saying is in the research is that you will potentially have problems with that organ. So in my case, there is a little part of the colon that is marked thyroid. So if I have stagnation, so let's say I have lots of food stuck at that point, so it's all caked on in that point, poo can't really get out properly. I'm still pooing, but all of that food stuck there. What's saying is that stagnation is at that point, so therefore I'm going to develop a thyroid issue. If it's at another point, like hay fever's on there as well, you will have hay fever. There's lots of things, so have a look at the chart that I posted the other day, and I really do suggest that people have more colonic irrigations and not be so scared of them. In situations, for example, like IBS. IBS is a condition where the bad bacteria has gone into the small intestine. That's what's happened. So if you have a lot of bad bacteria in the colon because you have putrefying food that's been there for years and years and years and years, then that bacteria can then travel to the small intestine, and then we get conditions like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth and IBS. So it's really important that we not only look at the small intestine, but we also look at the colon, because your gut health is what keeps us healthy and beautiful and running for fitness and healthful life and all of the stuff that I talk about. So do not neglect your gut. Do not neglect anything to do with your gut if you want to be truly healthy.